What's up, guys? Jason here with OT Side Piece. Today on the channel, I want to take a look at Arcade1Up's Ms Pacman 40th anniversary cabinet, and I want to give you guys my honest opinions on the cabinet, the games, and what I think about it overall. If you guys appreciate some real content, honest opinions, go ahead and consider subscribing. Hit a like, support the new channel. We're a new channel. We're going to come up here in the Arcade1Up community. But anyways, I need to start out before I say anything. This cabinet comes at half the price of the class of 1981 Ms Pacman cabinet. That's at $300. Now, I gotta say, it does not come with a light-up marquee, and it does not come with a riser. But at half the price, $300 compared to the $600 of the class of 1981 cabinet, I think it's a bargain that we gotta talk about. First thing I see when I look at an arcade cab is I look at the artwork. This artwork is sick. The fact that they went with the classic Ms Pacman, they had to. And the pink borders with the contrasting blue ghost, but that wood grain just makes it pop. I'm happy they went with that wood grain art. It just looks really cool on this cabinet. The shape of the cabinet resembles their previous Namco Legacy cabinets. I'm not too sure if it's the same exact mold, but it looks just like it from the pictures. And the marquee, like I said, it's beautiful, but it's not a lit up marquee. The kick plate was a pain to put in, just like they are on all the legacy cabs, but I gotta say, the classic look with the wood grain, the classic Ms Pacman sitting down with that logo. This logo is sick. The 40th anniversary logo just pops. Now, I gotta mention again, there is no riser with this unit, but if you get the generic riser, it doesn't look too bad. I kind of don't like the Arcade1Up logo, but hey, it is what it is. Last thing I want to take a look at is the control panel. It does have that black background. It looks very nice. It does have two buttons. The only game that uses a second button is Rolling Thunder. We'll go over the games here in a bit. But it does come with the cheap buttons. Every Arcade1Up has these cheap buttons. Yes, I'm starting to get tired of changing them out. And I gotta mention, yes, there is a 4-way gate on this joystick, as there should be. And yes, this cabinet does come with a headphone jack. So we just took a look at the cabinet. I gotta say, it's beautiful. The way they mixed in that wood grain look with the 40th anniversary logo, it's sweet, man. It's like it was a must buy for me. But more importantly, let's talk about the games. Now, before I get into the games, I'm going to let you guys know I play a lot of old school games, but a lot of these games may be a little too old school for me. So some of them I have never played. It's my first experience with them, but I'll let you guys know what I thought of them. First game we got to talk about is what is the skin of the cabinet, Ms Pacman. If you clicked on this video or if you've been playing video games, I don't need to speak much about it. So I'm not going to speak too much, but it is the first sequel of Pac-Man, and subjectively speaking, I think it's a better game. That's just my opinion. Don't hate on me. I really love Ms Pacman. The next game we got to talk about is Galaxian. Now, this game, I hadn't played very much of it. It is a very simple fixed shooter. This is Namco's answer to the Space Invaders. Basically, the mission is exactly the same. You got to protect Earth by fighting off these waves of aliens. So it's very much like Space Invaders, just with its own little twist. Very addictive game. But the game that they put on that was a must-have and is the reason why I bought the cabinet, another reason other than Ms Pacman, is the official sequel of Galaxian, which is Galaga or Galaga, however you want to say. I say Galaga, I grew up saying it like that. But anyways, it's a very addictive shooter, one of the greatest games of all time, man. And they basically took on the predecessor of Galaxian and just improved the gameplay. And in my opinion, it's just a better game. I like it a lot better. Now, the coolest part of this game is that if your ship gets captured and if you have an extra life, you can go ahead and try to recapture your ship, and then it'll turn into a dual shooter. And once you have those two ships, right, you can score a shitload of points. So it's a very fun game, especially competitive with a friend next to you. Definitely love playing this game 2-player. Now, the next game is Dig Dug. This is a classic. I remember this game when I was a kid, man. It's basically a classic maze where you're digging the ground. You can just make your maze your own way. The objective is to kill the enemies with rocks by going under them. You can use your own tunnels. Be unique with it. Be creative. And you can kill them with the rocks, or you can actually kill them by you have a pump and you'll just inflate them till they explode. I don't know. It's a very fun game, very addictive. The next game I want to talk about is a game I hadn't played, Rompers. All right, I had never played this game, never heard the game. I probably had it in compilations and just never played it. So in this game, you basically take the role of a gardener, and you got to collect all these keys in these 61 mazes to save the girlfriend. Oh, yes, it has a little backstory, a little cut story in the front. It's funny. But anyways, the way you kill enemies is by pushing walls over, and you got to be careful because these enemies can push the walls over to you. Now, enemies can respawn, and they'll turn into these little eggs, and they'll respawn. So you just got to be careful. The game is okay, man. It's fun. I haven't played enough of it, but definitely enjoying what I've seen. Next game is a Tower of Druaga. All right, I've never ever played this game, so it kind of reminds me of Midway's Gauntlet with just a little bit of like Crystallis theme, even though that game probably came out afterwards. I'm not too sure. I'm pretty sure like way afterwards. But anyways, so in this game, it's a maze game where you got to collect the key to get to the next level. Well, in this, your weapon is a sword. You can use it to hit enemies. You can block projectiles by facing towards with your shield. Now, one thing is if you kill enemies, or sometimes there's a code that you got to enter with the stick a certain way. I haven't figured out the codes, but you will spawn in a chest. Now, it's very important to get these chests because these will have abilities for you to help you throughout the levels. Now, one of the abilities that you get early on are these boots, and you really want them because they'll help you speed through the games. Now, the next game is Rolling Thunder. This game, I played as a kid. It was hard then. It's still hard as balls now. It's a run and gun shooter. I don't know any games to compare this to. I know I've played games like it, but it kind of reminds me of a Shinobi in a way. I don't know. Not really a narc, but kind of. I really can't describe the game, but basically, it's a run and gun shooter. You hide behind crates to take cover. You can duck your shots. You can jump between floors, go in and out of doors. You got to be careful because enemies come out of the doors. They touch you, you're fucked. They shoot you, you're fucked. So some of these doors you can go in to get extra ammo, extra guns. It's very challenging. I haven't made it very far, but it is a fun game, and I'm happy they put this one in the cabinet because you know what? I'm going to play it some more. Now, the next game is Rally X. I had never, ever played this game. I guess the best way to describe it, it's a multi-scrolling level racer, and I'm using that word lightly because you're in a race car. Basically, what you got to go do is collect 10 yellow flags scattered throughout the map. Now, you got to do this without getting hit by enemy cars or crashing into a rock. Now, there's a mini map on the side. You'll use this where you can see your enemies. You can see where the flags are. But you got to be careful because you do have an ability to, like, you know, if there's someone's behind you, to kind of throw some smoke behind them to kind of stun them for a while. But this also takes away your fuel. The whole time, yes, you have fuel. You got to keep an eye on that gauge, which fucking sucks. But that's what makes the game hard, is it has a fuel gauge. So far what I played, I enjoyed it. It is fun. It is a game that I'm happy they put on this cabinet. Now, one thing I want to mention, this game and Rolling Thunder are the only two games that are not vertical games on here. So if you guys care about aspect ratio, this might bother you guys. Next game I want to talk about is a game called Mappy. I remember a little bit of this game. I don't remember too much, but basically you're a cop mouse. So you're going after these cats. So they're the robbers, you know. So you're going into this mansion that's 6 stories and levels, and you're basically trying to retrieve all the stolen goods. Now, the single button you have is open and close doors. This is basically going to be like your weapon. So there's trampolines scattered throughout the levels. You jump on the trampoline. Now, you can only jump on them 4 times, and they'll destroy. They'll change colors while you're jumping on them. But you're going to use the door as kind of a weapon. So if you go in the door with the side of the doorknob, basically if there's a cat behind you, it'll knock them out of the way. But there are also these blue doors that if you open them, there'll be like a microwave like signal like come out, and it'll actually knock the cats off the map. So it'll knock them off the board. So that's a way to help you so there's not so many damn enemies. I don't really understand the gameplay so far. That's the way I go through the maps, but it is a lot of fun. Basically, you're jumping through levels on this trampoline, trying to retrieve all the stolen goods, and then going to the next level. The final game is King and Balloons. So this is another Space Invaders clone. So in this game, basically you take control of 2 men holding a cannon, and you're shooting against hot air balloons. So these hot air balloons are trying to capture the king underneath you, so you're protecting him. And if any shots or if the balloons run into you, your cannon is destroyed, but it'll spawn in again after a few seconds. And then you know, that's the opportunity you get to either hold them off or shoot. If the king gets captured, shoot the balloon and the king will be released. Now, it's a little annoying because the king does have some dialogue. It's pretty funny. Like he'll yell for help. But if he actually gets captured, he'll say bye-bye, and that shit is fucking annoying. This game is fun, but it's a little annoying to me, but I do like it. I straight up got this cabinet for Ms Pacman and Galaga. To me, that was worth it. The 8 games they gave were just bonus games for me, and I gotta say, they are pretty good, and they're pretty addictive. I do have a respect for them. Now, I gotta say, there's 2 games that we're missing that are on the class of 81, which is $600, and those 2 games are, one of the sequels to Galaga 88, and the other one, Dig Dug 2. To me, I could do away with those. I don't need those. As long as I have Galaga and the original Dig Dug, I'm happy. But the other thing I want to just mention real quick, I know some people are going to ask about the options. Yes, there's options where you can make the game easier on you. You can make, you get a life earlier or whatever, those options. But the main thing people are going to wonder in Ms Pacman is the speed hack there. Is it where you could go fast? Yes, there is an option for the speed hack where you can go fast. I liked it. I thought it was fun, but in a way, it's not something I'm used to playing. I guess I'm used to playing at normal speed. I heard there were some cabinets out there in the wild back in the day that had the speed hack just normal. I don't know if that's true. I don't remember that shit. But anyways, the option is there. Now, people are going to ask about Galaga. Is there the rapid fire? No, there isn't. I know I've played that on maybe Switch or PS4 or something like that, where you just hold the button and it shoots. To me, I never used that. I'm more used to controlling the bullets with the button, so I didn't really care for that. That's not my preference, but if it's your preference, it's something that you may consider not getting because of that. But dude, that's not the way the cabinets were meant to be, so it doesn't bother me. Now, when it went to there is a mode right there for the pixel smoothing. Unfortunately, I didn't see anything to do with scan lines, so I don't know, man. If you guys are looking for scan lines, this may not be it, but I gotta say, who plays in scan lines? I know there's a lot of old school people that appreciate it, but it would be better to have the option. One thing I gotta mention real quick is there's no online leaderboard, so there's no live button. There's no other way I figured out to pause the game. I don't think you can. Now, what you can do is hold the first player button. If you hold it for 5 seconds, it'll reboot the system to the main menu. And if you're in game and if you hold the second player button for 5 seconds, it'll reset the game that you're in. Now, I gotta say, my overall experience with the cabinet, I fucking love it. I am happy I went this budget route. I'm only paying $300. Plus, I bought a riser, and the riser's the generic one at Walmart was $45, so $345 compared to the $600. It was a no-brainer for me. I know I can buy an aftermarket light-up marquee if that really bothers me, but it really doesn't. I guess I don't notice it. Maybe a little later, but I'll get that later if I decide to. But as of right now, $345 compared to $600, I had to do it. Now, I got to say, with all my cabinets that I have here at the house, one of my friends came over. Very casual gamer. I've known this dude since we were kids. We used to play Street Fighter and shit back in the day. Mortal Kombat, we were all that. When I grew up playing that shit, he was there next to me. Now, he fell out of games. He hasn't played games since back in the day. He comes over and, we chill, whatever. But he saw the cabinets and he's seen them since I got them. But, when he came over, this was the one that he wanted to play. He goes, "Oh, you got Pac-Man." I go, "Well, it's Ms Pacman." But he started playing and he got addicted to it. Me and him had like a high score little attack on Ms Pacman and Galaga. And it was so much fun. It was fun seeing how addicted he got. He just could not stop playing. He ended up getting the high score on Ms Pacman. I couldn't beat it, but I got the Galaga one, so it's all good. But anyways, I guess why I'm saying this is because it's definitely a cabinet that's going to get a lot of people who aren't really into gaming, who are casual gamers, maybe played back in the day. That just something that Namco did back then. The fact that Ms Pacman and the whole Pac-Man series is still respected to today. Ms Pacman and Galaga have stood the test of time. When we're gone, those games are going to keep living. Those games are going to live forever. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you guys did, please drop a like. If you guys are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I'll be catching you guys soon. Peace out.